Hi-yo-yo. What up, my big dogs? It's your boy, Rean Schwarzer. And today we're continuing the Trails tier list. And we're finally at the best arc of them all. And if you have any other opinion, you are literally the cringiest person known to man.
Way to go, dumbass. I'm sure that's gonna leave a very good impression on the viewers. I swear this is why I try to do the introductions myself.
Shut the fuck up, motherfuckers. It's finally time to shit all over the worst arc in the whole series.
Starting the video off by saying you're gonna shit? Lloyd, that's pretty vile, man. What the heck?
I'm gonna need you two to zip up, because if I don't stop you two, we're never gonna start with this. So anyway, welcome back, dear viewers, to Rean and Friends Ranking the Trails games. Last time we ranked the Crossbell arc, and today we're gonna cover the Erebonia arc, and oh boy, this'll be a doozy.
Who dat?
Long time no see, bitches. I heard we're ranking the Cold Steel games today.
Right you are, Kevin Boo. Kinda interested in seeing what you have to say about this, not gonna lie.
Zin's here too? Well, would you look at that?
Hey guys! Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the strongest warrior that ever lived.
What the fuck? Says who?
Your mom.
Oh my god, even Kasim is here. Well, today's episode is gonna be one for the ages. We got an all-star cast ranking Cold Steel today.
I'm not in this arc, so it's kinda mid. Not gonna lie. Hey, I'm not in this arc either, but I think it kinda slaps, bro.
Yeah, one or two games are bangers, and the others are kinda snooze fests. But even then, they got good moments, so we'll see how this goes.
All right. Well, without further ado, we might as well get to the first game before we get distracted with any further unrelated shenanigans. First up, we have the beginning of the Erebonia arc. Trails of Cold Steel 1. Who wants to start the yap?
If I may. Well, you know, this is my arc. So I mean, let me just start by saying Rean Schwarzer is in this game, so that by itself makes it an automatic S-tier entry. But let's assume you hate Rean Schwarzer's guts. L-take, by the way. This game introduces you to the biggest land in the series yet, Erebonia.
Okay. Bro, immediately jumps to comparing country sizes. Are we compensating for something little, man?
Yeah, I don't even know what he was trying to say with that one. Biggest setting doesn't necessarily mean good, bro. The more ambitious a setting, the more liable it is to falling apart. Let's just say that—
Holy shit, bro, I barely spoke, and these two asshats had to interrupt me. Shut the fuck up and let me speak.
Yeah, shut the fuck up and let Rean Schwarzer do the talking meanie faces.
Kasim, why are you sucking off Rian like that?
Ayo, pause.
I'll show you sucking if you don't shut that mouth of yours.
What the fuck?
Shut up, shut up, shut up. Let me talk about the fucking game, bro. You two get a room and make out already or something. So like I was saying, Erebonia is a much bigger country than Crossbell or Liberal. We get to witness a bunch of the provinces and cities in Cold Steel 1, like Berahard, Trista, Seldik, Heimdallr, and so on. One of the main focuses of this game is the rising political tension between the nobles and the commoners of the country, which is a theme you often see in literature, so it's kinda easy to relate to.
Okay, hold the phone there. Since when was Rian capable of speaking intellectually like that? Bro was the most unserious person known to man and kept trolling everyone and their mothers in the past episodes like his life was depending on it.
for real, man. I thought the 2 IQ points he had were stored in his bum, because no normal person would talk like he did.
Shut the hell up, nerds. I'm a man capable of many things.
Like rizzing up your sister?
Hey, that's a good one. Rafael LMAO. Damn, I can't even defend him from that one. Not gonna lie.
I'm not even gonna give in to that bait, man. So, anyway, the core party member list is also the biggest in the series yet, with Rean Schwarzer, Elliot, Gaius, Jusis, Machias, Fee, Laura, Elisa, and Emma. And then you have others like Crow, Milliam, and Sarah. There's party members for days.
Once again acting like that's a good thing. There's so many party members that they eventually get the shaft on account of something else. Like Rean Schwarzer, for example. Everything and everyone is so fixated on his pathetic ass that it hurts all those other characters. It's like Class 7 exists for Rian and no one else. They barely interact with each other.
For real, man. Like the dynamic between Jusis and Machias was amazing. Probably the best in the game. Then you have something like Laura and Fee, where I felt like it was half-baked and a tad forced. Like it was thrown just to have some cheesy-ass high school drama.
You did not just say that, motherfucker. The Laura and Fee dynamic was wonderful. It highlighted a contrast where one of them led a life close to that of a criminal's, and the other only knew the ways of nobility. Two people like that were bound to clash at some point.
Yeah, but like, Fee is just a chill girl, and Laura got ticked off by it. Like a bitch. Like, what's your problem, bro? Leave her be.
For real. Laura making a problem out of nothing.
Stop the fucking Laura slander, you haters. She's the best girl in the whole roster, and I will not hear otherwise. Though I have to point out that I was held at gunpoint by her and was forced to say that otherwise she was gonna fucking slice my head off with that blade of hers.
What?
So anyway, you have a wonderful beginning to an arc, with a wonderful cast of characters. Ya boy Rean Schwarzer is a practitioner of the 8 leaves, 1 blade style. So you already know you're in for a banger of a character.
Right you are. My favorite part was when you jumped right into Elisa's badonka donkas. That part slapped hard.
I almost died of cringe, they're not gonna lie.
She really did keep on hating on Rean for so long, though. Like I was starting to feel bad for him. And that's like an impossibility, because of how annoying his ass is.
Thanks, man. She was a bitch about it for like no reason. But yeah. Anyway, I like this game a lot. It's an easy S tier if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, nobody asked you.
Bro was shitting on every previous game so hard. This is about to be the funniest part. Well, like I said before, this is the worst arc in the series. Rean is a generic-ass shonen protagonist. I mean, the game kicks off with a scene of him falling into Elisa's gazonkers for crying out loud. That does not bode well for the rest of the game. I honestly found someone like Emma, Juices, Fee, or even fucking Machias to be way more interesting than his boring second-form Gale ass. Easiest D tier of my life.
Fuck you.
Well, anyway, Lloyd's hate aside, I enjoyed Cold Steel 1 quite a bit. I actually think I like it more than something like Cold Steel 2 overall. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Rean is just okay as a protagonist in this one. Party members like Juices, Machias, Laura, Phi, Emma, and even Gaius were all very interesting, and I found myself invested in their backgrounds. Elisa and Elliot are kinda mid, though, not gonna lie. But I'd say Elliot is better than Elisa because he was your first friend, and that's worth something. He's a bro.
Hell yeah! Elliot appreciation. We love to see it.
What is wrong with all these Elisa haters, man? She's the fucking best Class 7 member, no cap. And if you think otherwise, you're just plain wrong, and I regret to inform you that you have shit taste.
Cry us a river, man. She's like the weakest Class 7 member writing-wise, and it ain't even close. Girl tried to hide her family name like it was a big deal. Like, bro, you're the daughter of Reinford's CEO in a school full of bigwigs and nobles. Stop trying to be special about it.
For real, man, I just couldn't really find her as interesting as the others. But yeah, moving on from characters, I found the environments and cities to have a really nice, cozy feeling to them. And the soundtrack of this game does slap hard, and I can't even lie about that. I might have to put this game in A tier personally, but I could be maybe convinced to put it down to B. But I'll go with A for now.
Thanks, Van. Glad to see you being sensible out of all these dumbasses.
Normally I'd tell you to can it since you always like to troll, but just this once, I'll say you're welcome.
Okay? Well, I enjoyed this game as well, but I think I didn't enjoy it as much as Van here did. I liked some of the characters, like Juices and Emma, but I felt like the story did drag here and there at times. Like, compare the length of this game to any of the previous games, and man, I felt that extra stretch at some point. I think the soundtrack is pretty solid as well, and definitely helps me give it higher credit. So I think I'll settle for B tier.
Well, I think my opinion is kinda closest to Zen. Like, I did enjoy the game as well, but it definitely dragged, especially with some of the later dungeons that I think didn't need to be there. I also honestly didn't like the soundtrack as much as you guys. So I think this might be a C tier for me.
So many L takes in one call, it's almost inconceivable. This game has Angelica. That alone makes it at the bare minimum an A-tier game.
Did he just say he likes Angelica?
I'm pretty sure we didn't mishear it. I'm just trying to process it.
Of all the goddamn things someone could say about the game, This is the one thing I'll understand if anyone hates on. Holy crap, Kasim. Pick your battles better, dude. What the fuck?
You too, Rean. Man, and I thought we had something special going on since we both like this arc. Fuck you two then. Just for that I'm putting this in B tier, but that B tier is specifically and solely for Angelica. Everything else kinda sucks.
Man, and I thought I heard it all. I can't believe my ears just had to endure whatever the fuck this dude had to say.
Maybe it's best not to dwell on it, and let's just move on with the average rating part.
Yeah, so, we got 1 S from Rean, 1 A from me, 2 Bs from Kasim and Zin, 1 C from Kevin, and 1 D from Lloyd. This is like the ultimate balance. You have 1 in each tier and then 2 in B. So I think we'll have to settle with B for this. No, please stop! Holy fucking shit, Adios almighty!
Van, are you okay, buddy?
Hey, bro, what's gotten into you?
Dude, this is creeping me the fuck out. What's going on with him?
Holy fucking shit! Oh, yes, Adios almighty.
Okay. I legitimately can't tell if he's getting the best head of his life, or if he's never been more terrified.
Wait, hold on, guys. Let me fix him.
Whoa! What? What just happened? Why the fuck does my head feel like a train just rammed through it?
That my friend was the Taito healing technique that I just used on you. I had no other choice, because you were legitimately, like, freaking out and shit.
Dude, all you did was get your bunda up to his face and drop a nuclear—
Shut the fuck up, Lloyd boy. He doesn't need to know that.
Can someone just tell me what I was doing before whatever happened?
Yeah, dude. So like you were about to finalize the rank for Cold Steel 1, and then you started tweaking out like a kid eating the McDonald's Minecraft nether sauce for the first time.
Okay. So, let's get back to that shit. So like I said, we got 1 rank in each category, but then an extra ranking in B. I was initially thinking of throwing that bad boy in B tier, but there's just this persistent feeling that I should really put it in A rank, or else some bad juju is gonna happen. So like, I guess it goes to A rank.
Should be 1 tier higher, but whatever.
The A tier is too high for that mid-slop, but whatever. Let's just move on, I guess.
Okay, so next up we have Trails of Cold Steel 2. This game also has Angelica, so it's a solid entry already in my book.
Who the fuck died and made you narrator, you little bitch? Sit down and let me do the talking.
Ooh, Rean is getting feisty. Go get him, boy. We shall continue to gatekeep Angelica fans.
Alright, so Trails of Cold Steel 2 picks up right where the first game left off. Like immediately right after. Just like Sky FC to Sky SC. This time, Erebonia is engulfed in a full-on civil war between multiple factions, including the nobles, the Imperial Army, which consists of commoners. Then you have a bunch of other groups like Ouroboros just doing their thing. And of course you have that bitch Crow, who thinks he's hot shit by constantly looking pretty next to the big bads. But him aside, this is another Cold Steel game. So it's an automatic S tier for me.
Of course, what else did we expect? Well, like I said when I was talking about Cold Steel 1, I do like this game as well, but I found the pivotal points to not be very compelling. You can tell this game focuses way more on gameplay than the first game, especially with all the shrines scattered that you can go through if you want. And that's not even mentioning the huge-ass Reverie Corridor dungeon that felt like it was just thrown together to stretch out the game. Like, goddamn. What were they thinking?
I don't know. The shrines were actually kinda nice. The best part about them, hands down, is the Holy Saint track that plays there. God damn, it's so good.
I mean, yeah, the shrines were nice for sure, but it's like, sometimes I can't help but feel like they'll throw random stuff in that they could have done without and try to tie it with the narrative. That's the best way I can put it.
I kind of get where he's coming from. It's like when you have a conversation in these games between 2 or more people, and they basically keep saying the same goddamn thing in like 5 different ways. Like, I get the point. Bro, just skedaddle already.
I mean, I'd try to chime in with what I think. But you guys probably already know I'd put this game down in D tier. Can I just say Altina is so goddamn cringe in this game? Like, holy shit, bro. It's like she had a thing for calling Rean a pervert. It was so fucking annoying. I kinda wanted to get in there and whack out the Lloyd Rising Sun special.
Yeah, I kinda know what you mean. I try my best to set aside my anime cringe meter just to play devil's advocate sometimes, but Altina literally made it impossible. Then again, I kinda found Milliam the same way in Cold Steel 1, but thankfully, the games still had plenty of good to them.
Who else thinks this game did wonders for Juices? Like, goddamn, bro. His art goes hard.
Oh fuck yeah, Juices is the best FR.
I thought your cringe ass only liked Angelica. Isn't that what you said earlier?
Yeah, well, Angelica is the best thing about the Cold Steel games, but occasionally I'll find a thing or two here and there that slap hard.
Well, okay then.
Oh yeah. Can we also mention just how many goddamn that won't be necessary moments this game had? Like, man, it got comical at the palace in the end of the game, and the worst part is, this is not the last of it, as we'll have more moments like that in the next games.
For real, dude. At one point, I was just laughing my ass off. You can see it coming from a mile away. And they also really loved reusing the track to become the foundation of the world. And yet people dunk on something like, "What is ahead of you?" from the Daybreak games.
Yeah, it's like a Trails fans try to remember that X and Y thing actually goes all the way back to earlier games challenge. Impossible. Like, why the fuck does Silver Will play for Richard and Cassius? People hail that shit as Loe's theme, but you'll still find it playing elsewhere. And yet, nobody questions that.
For real, man. What we all truly need as a Trails community is to shit on all the games equally and love them all equally.
Shut the fuck up with your power of friendship speech already. And just talk about Cold Steel 2, you pipsqueak?
Okay, calm down, dude. Well, like I was saying, I do like the game, but I think the story kinda had me raising an eyebrow or two here and there compared to Cold Steel 1. I honestly also think I like Cold Steel 1's soundtrack more. So overall, I'm gonna put this game in B tier.
Well, if I'm being frank, I kinda had the same level of enjoyment with this one as Cold Steel 1. So, C tier. It is.
There's more Angelica in this game, so I'll have it one tier higher than the first game, in A tier.
Before I say anything, I just want to give a shout out to the Taito representation in Cold Steel 1 and 2. But God, why did it have to be with fucking Angelica of all characters? At least they were teasing Kilika as her trainer, so that kinda slaps. But anyway, another shout out to that part towards the end where you play as Lloyd and Rixia. That came at a time where you were just processing Crow getting shot among other revelations. And then that is even more of a bombshell. And if you haven't been spoiled on it before, you'll be like, holy shit. Unless you didn't play the Crossbell games, in which case, you'll be more like, who the fuck am I playing as? And trust you me, I have seen people who completely glossed over the Crossbell games and just had no idea what they were looking at, despite the good in it. I don't know if this is a game I'd ever like to play again, so I'm also going to join Kevin in throwing it in C tier.
Man, this game has even more shit takes coming from you guys compared to the first one. Why do I even hang out with you all?
Listen, sweetie, nobody's forcing you to stay with us. Plus, pretty much everyone here already said they find some good with the games, so just accept that not everyone will equally give the Glock 3000 to your special little game and sit your special little ass down.
Okay. Calm down, buckos. So this brings us to 1 S tier from Rean, 1 A tier from Kasim, 1 B tier from me, 2 C tiers from Zin and Kevin, and then 1 D tier from Lloyd. With the way this is structured, this one's being pulled below C, so let's just go for C. Oh, for fuck's sake, not again! Okay, Rean Schwarzer, listen here, you fucking asshole. You try and change the average rating, which we all arrive to fair and square, and I swear to fuck, I'm bodying your ass to paste.
Holy shit, what the fuck is this power?
Don't ever mess with me again, you spineless little insect! You're screwed now!
Oh, fuck off.
Okay, sorry about that, dear viewers. I just had to put this bitch in his place because I was getting sick of his cute little bag of tricks getting in the way. So like I was saying, as per the results of our little poll, this pile of dog shit goes to C tier. He just had to piss me off.
This isn't the end, Van Arkreed.
Yeah, shut up, no one cares. Anyway, next up we have Cold Steel 3. Now I'll admit, this is probably the best Cold Steel game for me. Between the engine upgrade and the glow-up that pretty much any returning character got, we already have a solid start. And that's not to mention the returning legacy characters, like Agate, Tita, and Randy showing up. Very good shit right there. Right off the bat. Rean Shitter comes back as an instructor in this one, teaching his own Class 7, which is certainly a choice. I both like and dislike how the new Class 7 has better chemistry amongst themselves compared to old Class 7. You see, new Class 7 don't feel like they have one figure they all suck the penis of, but instead, you often see them interact with one another, adopt nicknames for each other, throw witty remarks and jokes at one another, and so much more. But having said that, seeing Kurt starting off by having his face planted in Juna's badonkers is comparable to when your dad throws a joke, expecting you to laugh and keeps asking if you get it, and then over-explains it, like goddamn bro, was all that really necessary? We didn't need that rehash from Cold Steel 1.
God, I wish that were me.
Hey, yo, freaky, Kasim.
For real, man. Strongest warrior that ever lived, more like freakiest warrior that ever lived.
Ha! Good one.
Anyway, I think Rean as a character shone through more in this game compared to the first two games. The combat was pretty damn nice, but I gotta say, the soundtrack as a collective I found weaker than Cold Steel 1. But some of my favorite tracks still come from this game, like Spiral of Erebos or Cheap Trap. The ending to this game was such a brutal one that kept fans crying and shitting and everything you can think of. It was insane waiting for the sequel after this one. Unfortunately, thanks to what we know from the sequel, a lot of the ending's value diminishes for me, but ranking specifically just this game without thinking of Cold Steel 4, I'll gladly put this game in an astounding A tier.
See, Van, it's not so hard to put my games at a high tier, is it?
Dude, shut the fuck up already. I'm not doing any of this for your dumb ass.
Whatever, bro. So like you guys know, this game is where my sweet profile picture comes from, so that alone makes it the highest tier. But man, the graphical upgrade with this game just goes insanely hard. I love every single thing about it. It has not a single flaw, and it is simply a masterpiece even compared to the other Cold Steel games. Easy S tier.
I know what you guys might be thinking. Crossbell comes back in this game, so you're probably like, okay, well, Lloyd will surely be happier about this game than the others. But I hate to break it to y'all. My hatred for the Cold Steel arc transcends any of all that shit. Cold Steel hater for life, baby. Easy D tier.
Damn! Bro's hating so much, I can't help but respect the consistent hater grind set.
Okay, well, this game has even more Angelica.
Dude, I swear to fuck if you mention Angelica one more goddamn time, I'll kick you out of the call myself.
Whoa, like what's your fucking problem, dude?
I can't believe I'm agreeing with Rean Shitter on this, but yeah, I think no one has your back on this one, Kasim.
Sorry I died of cringe and had to take a moment to be able to slip in my witty comeback. Shame on you, Kasim.
It's not my problem you pussies like the wrong things, but fucking anyway. I'll just give my ranking and it's a solid A tier.
Attaboy.
As for me, I definitely enjoyed this game more than the previous two as well. But I can't help but be disappointed that they brought a whole-ass new Class 7 instead of just focusing on all of the old ones, which only contributed to making a huge cast even bigger. I think this'll be a B tier for me.
Yeah, I think that placement sounds about right for me too. The previous two games were not as enjoyable as this one for me. This game did wonders for a whole bunch of characters in more than one way too. I think Altina graduated from being pure jailbait and nothing else, which is huge. She actually has a personality now. New Class 7 is pretty good overall, but I'm not the biggest fan of Juna, and I felt like Kurt was a little too bland as well. Ash, Moose, and Altina were all fire, though. I also gotta admit that Gaius becoming a Dominion sure felt like it came out of nowhere. Even if he rocks the role, there's just quite a bit that happened in this game that I'm not sure how to feel about, but it was still a pretty good experience. I'll give it a B tier.
Alright, so we got one S from Rean, 2 A rankings from me and Kasim, 2 B rankings from Zin and Kevin, and then 1 D from Lloyd. I think placing this game at A tier is very fair.
Sure, why not?
And up next, oh boy, we have quite possibly the most controversial game in the whole franchise. Where do we even start with this game?
I'll tell you where to start. You can start by throwing it immediately into D tier because, holy heck, this game does so many things wrong. I almost had a stroke.
Damn, that's about what I expected from you. Care to elaborate?
This game truly drove home just how it feels like everything, and every single fucking individual in Erebonia depends on Rean Schwarzer. Even like the neighbor's dog would be crying and start speaking in human language for Rean Schwarzer because fucking I don't know. Like seriously. Every single fucking scene where someone is sad about Rean feels like it has to be a scene directed by Hideo Kojima with how unnecessarily fucking long-winded they are. Fucking hell. I could fall fucking asleep, bro. Like, get me out of there already. Every single female is wet for Rean, and every single male acts like they lost their blowjob, bro. God damn, the more I speak, the more I'm livid with rage.
Phew! Wow, this guy sure has it out for this game, don't he?
You're telling me. I think this is the most hate I've seen someone give to any game on the list so far.
Well, to be honest, I can't blame him too much because they kinda butcher my sweetie pie cutie patootie Angelica.
Dude, shut the fuck up about Angelica already, goddamn! Man, I haven't even spoken about the shitty-ass character revivals that happen at the end that just completely devalue any narrative impact the deaths of Crow and Milliam had. And fucking Adios, don't get me started on how you have this army of people helping Osborn, and yet people like Lecter and Claire faced absolutely no consequences. And everyone just goes back to normal. Like they didn't put a whole nation in danger. The whole curse fucking plotline is so goddamn stupid. Like everyone and their mothers just does everything because the curse told them so. Oh, this dude shot his neighbor? It's the curse that did it? He's actually a chill guy, don't be harsh on him. This guy clogged the local pizzeria's toilet with the fattest shit, but I assure you the curse also implanted that shit inside him. It's not his fault. I wanted to put a fucking shotgun to my face by the end of this godforsaken game and pull the trigger because I couldn't believe what I went through with this pile of shit. If I could make a new lower tier for this disgrace, I would. But let's just say I'd put it in the pits of D tier and call it here.
God damn. And I thought I had problems with this game. Clearly someone has me beat. Like, yeah, sure, the revivals and the curse were so fucking convenient, but like, how do I put it?
Would you maybe say that this game has some of the highest highs and the lowest lows of the franchise? 'Cause I think that's where I'm standing.
You know what? I think that's an excellent way of describing it. Yeah, this game does have a few of my favorite moments in the arc, but goddamn, there's just a bunch of things that drag the experience down. The one track that is the most memorable to me is the final dungeon theme, which is an absolute banger. And then I'd say McBurn's theme, but that's technically not a Cold Steel 4 track. The best OST of the ARC Award still goes to the first Cold Steel for me. I like how you play as so many characters in this game compared to Cold Steel 3. Man, the final dungeon especially was great for that. I think I'd put this game in B tier. The writing quality was not as consistent as it was in Cold Steel 3, so yeah.
I've stayed quiet all this time, but can I just say, holy shit, fuck you, Lloyd. Like, goddamn, how can a person's brain be so fried?
Oh, you mad I don't like the game where everyone sucks you off like you're the only one that matters? Well, boo fucking who, little man.
I'm not gonna bother talking to a wall. Anyway, this game is absolute peak. Like, goddamn. Everyone has their dongalings out for me. It's just so beautiful to see as Rean Schwarzer himself. I make the world stop for me. I make everyone stop for me. It's glorious. I started in the first game at a beginner level in the 8 Leaves 1 Blade School and became a Divine Blade. By the end of it, meanwhile, Estelle and Joshua have been stuck with the B rank and still are to this day like absolute fucking losers. Eat shit, noobs. I'm the best, and this game is also the best. Straight into S tier it goes.
I literally don't think I've ever seen someone suck their own dick so hard.
I just kinda wish it was in a literal sense, not gonna lie.
Say that again?
I was just saying how I agree that Cold Steel 4 is a good game.
I'm pretty fucking sure it was something much more zesty than that, but whatever. I agree with a bunch of things Van and Lloyd said. Like the revivals. I think the story could have had a better message about sacrifice if those stayed. The gameplay is really satisfying, and there's just quite a lot that this game does well, so I can't put it below B tier personally.
I love Cold Steel so much, God, I touch myself to it sometimes. But I can't help but put this one in C tier.
What the fuck is this dude's problem?
Okay, well, I'm the only one left. So, long story short, while I really enjoyed a lot of the hype moments and all the aura farming in Cold Steel 4, I think I like Cold Steel 3 more still. I'm really mixed on the ending and on a lot of things, so I think C tier is adequate.
I think that's the last rating we got. So we got an S from Rean, 2 B rankings from me and Zin, 2 C rankings from Kasim and Kevin, and finally a D ranking from Lloyd. The average would probably be closer to a C tier, so let's put it in there.
Holy mother of shit taste, man.
Cry us a river, little cuck.
What the fuck was that? Was that still Lloyd Bannerham's?
Sorry to interrupt your hot date, but we gotta keep on moving because this video's so much longer than the previous 2, and we gotta keep it focused. So up next, we got the conclusion to the Cold Steel arc as well as the conclusion to the Crossbell arc with Trails into Reverie. And oh boy, this game does so much right compared to the other Cold Steel games.
By far, the most impressive feat this game does is that it has a roster of like 50 goddamn playable characters, which is just beyond bonkers.
Yeah, seriously. And then you have the Reverie Corridor system, which pretty much has infinite replayability with all those characters. Most fans can basically make their dream team in this game. But sadly, people like me and Zin still aren't in it. But that's a conversation for another day.
You know, I actually like this game.
What?
Say what?
No way.
Damn. You like a game that has Rean in it? What gives?
Okay. See, I know it's a head twister, but hear me out. The Cold Steel games almost purely gave Rean most of the spotlight, but this game has him as only 1 out of 3 protagonists. I take the lead once again, and then you have the Goat C, who is an amazing character and really drove home that Falcom can write good shit again. Like story-wise, I would genuinely twerk for this game. It has such good moments in writing. Obviously my least favorite part being Rian's route, but that's a given. In fact, Rean is the only reason I'd put this game in A tier and not S tier.
Well, would you look at that? I was gonna put this game in C tier. Because I'm not the sole protagonist for this one. Like, what the fuck was Kondo and Falcom thinking? I'm the only protagonist they ever need. So, like, genuinely, what the fuck was their problem with this game? Like, don't get me wrong, I love my route, but it should have been the only one. For that heinous crime against humanity, I can in good faith put it above C tier.
Well, this sure is an interesting turn of events. Lloyd putting the game in a higher tier while Rean is doing the opposite. Couldn't say I saw that coming.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know what the fuck I just witnessed, but I only wish I had popcorn for the drama. But setting that aside, like I said earlier, I really love the gameplay of this game and just the sheer number of characters you can play as. C as a new protagonist was incredible, and by far that was my favorite route out of the bunch. I fairly enjoyed the Rean and Lloyd ones, but not gonna lie, I did have a couple of problems with them, but not so much that I hated the game. I'd still put this game at a solid A tier, while the gameplay will forever be an S tier in my heart.
Very well said. I think my biggest problem with this game overall might be with the soundtrack. It did have a few bangers, but most of the tracks just kind of faded away from my brain. I think an A tier is also what it gets from me.
Well, you already know what I'm gonna say. This game has even more angelic.
Shut the fuck up about her and just get to the point, for God's sake.
Okay, sheesh. What's gotten your penis into a knot? Well, yeah, okay, so I think I'll actually put this game in S tier, but I'm not gonna elaborate because nobody fucking cares.
Nah, don't be so harsh on yourself, bro. Well, anyway, I think I'm the only one left. I really like this game overall, probably more than Cold Steel 3. This game gets an astounding A tier from me as well, with how much it has to offer. Beautiful game, magnifique, absolute cinema.
And with that, we have 1 S tier from Kasim, 4 A tiers from me, Zin, Kevin, and Lloyd, and 1 C tier from Rean. This goes to an easy A tier overall. Very well-earned spot, and I wouldn't even be mad if anyone put this game into their S tier because it does deserve it.
Man, this sure was a long tier list video compared to the previous ones. But that was a lot of fun. FR, FR, FR.
Yeah, I had fun too. I should probably join for the next one, seeing as I'm actually in that arc. But we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go train my Tato healing technique some more since I haven't used it in a while. So I'll see you guys later.
Well, that was fun. Except for the part where y'all hated on my arc. So fuck y'all. And see you next time.
Boo-hoo, bro's mad. But that just makes my day. I should probably head out too, so I'll see you guys later.
I wonder, is Qasim still here? Hey, Qasim.
Guess not. Well, we should probably also head out too. Ciao, Van.
Angelica. Oh God. Angelica. Angelica, I love you so much. Angelica, please step on me. Angelica, you're my queen, yes. Queen.